I wouldn't exactly call it smoke on the water, but the boat does go pretty fast. We are here in the lobby parlor, Grand Hotel in Mackinac. I've got to be careful with vernacular around here. They had, over 100 years of getting it right. And we came across the Straits of Mackinac yesterday on Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry, fastest fleet. And Chris Shepler would wince at the idea of smoke on the water because he's really a ragbagger from way back. In fact, an America's Cup racer, to be sure, a sailor of the First Right. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. How are you today?
I'm wondering, did you see a red sky this morning? I sort of saw a red sky in the east. Are you taking warning at all?
No warning today. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And how beautiful is Mackinac Island right now?
It's terrific. I'm looking right at the strait right now, and I can't tell the chop from way up here on Mackinac Island, whether the waves are 1 foot or 1 inch or whatever it is, but it doesn't matter to you. You're taking people every half an hour to this beautiful island at this time of the year, right?
We certainly are, and started that last week out of Mackinac City. We're still on that hour schedule out of St. Ignace, which will change this Friday, but yeah, summer is here, and we're up and running.
They are ships that pass in the night and the day. You got them going all directions out there. And it was very interesting for me to be in the pilot. Is it the pilot house of the boat? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the pilot house.
To watch how you operate that boat. And I mean, obviously, the way that you maneuver it in and out of the harbor is not easy, but you made it look easy. And the I'd say for people who come to Mackinac Island, their first bit of fun is to get on a boat and go across the strait.
Well, we think that as well, and try to make that experience the best it can be. And it was certainly an honor to have you on board yesterday, and Harrison as well.
He had a big time too. We got to see up close and personal there how a ferry works, and he kept saying, "Is this the Time Bandit from Deadliest Catch?" And he said, "People have it. They have a big interest in boating now, I think, because of that show to some degree. But you would never face those sorts of waves here on the Straits."
No, we don't get the actually they can get up into the 30 to 40 footers out there in Alaska. We obviously don't get that. And yesterday was a small chop. We had 1 to 3 feet, and it's we don't get much more than that in the summertime. The fall and spring it can get a little hairy, but this spring has not been bad at all. Just a lot of rain and cooler temperatures. That's all. But it's I think it's made the turn, and we've got summer going on.
Would you ever take a guess at how many crossings you personally make? Because they might people listening might think, well, Chris Shepler, he's the owner of the line with his father and his family. He probably just sits in the office and watches the boat go all day. That's definitely not true. I thought you were throwing luggage around, driving the boat, docking the boat, taking pictures, talking to people. I mean, you're an ambassador, really, not only for your line but also for the island.
Well, that's what we kind of follow in my father's footsteps. He's 79 years old, and he's working 60 hours a day or hours a week and 6 days a week, and so we got big shoes to fill. And not only that, we just love what we do, and that is all part of it. And being out there, not only on the water but on the dock as well, and we wouldn't want it any other way. It's all part of our lifestyle up there, I guess.
Speaking of the lifestyle of being a boater, what is it for you? What's the best time for you personally to be on the water? Is it as the sun goes down into twilight, or do you like to be out there first thing in the morning? When is it personally the best for you?
Right now. Early in the morning is the best time to be on the water. It's the hectic of the day hasn't started yet. It's still usually 9 times out of 10 it's pretty flat water, and the day's just starting. So I think right now is my favorite time.
Very soon we're going to have the Chicago to Mackinac sailboat race, and the Port Huron to Mackinac race coming in there, concluding at the Pink Pony most of the time. When you start to see those spinnakers and those boats coming in, do you get the itch to race again?
Yeah, you always do. That time of the year is such a special 2 weeks that we have up here on Mackinac, and to be a part of those races for so many years, and as on a competitive side, when you do see the sails and when you do see the crews coming in and all the activity that it brings, not only the activity on board the sailing boats, but the activity that the island has with all the people that come to see the end of that race. Yeah, you certainly do get a bug to get back racing sailboats, but it's been quite a few years since I've competitively raced.
You know, around Michigan, we were very familiar, or made familiar, with America's Cup racing for a couple of reasons. Don Riley being one of them, and Candace Miller was big into it. And also, Dennis Conner used the General Motors wind tunnel in developing some of his boats. Did you spend much time around the so-called Pelican, Dennis Conner?
You know, I did. I had sailed with him a couple of times, but you know, he's a different sort, and tough to get along with, but a very competitive guy, and someone you can certainly learn a lot about the sport of sailing, and so I was never really part of that, you know, the research and design part of the phase. I was just the sailor. So all that stuff happened. We actually used the University of Michigan, the 3/4 sized hull shapes that we used. We used at the University of Michigan in their tank testing down there in Ann Arbor, and that was very interesting to see how they put that whole thing together to make sure they had the fastest hull design. So a lot of R&D goes into those boats.
Yeah, well, a lot of fun goes into the Shepler-Mackinac Island Ferry, and you'll see billboards for it as you head up north on I-75 or down from the Upper Peninsula. And it's you have the closest dock, really, on the mainland in Mackinac City to the dock at Mackinac Island, don't you?
Yeah, we're located right downtown, both in Mackinac City and even in St. Ignace. We're right downtown, and then of course Mackinac Island. We drop you off right in the heart of Main Street of Mackinac Island. So the proximity of it all from our docks to where you got to go is quite easy.
We only have about 45 seconds left, but we know that there was some struggle this year with how many ferry lines there would be. All three, as I understand it, will be operating for the next 2 years. At what stage will you start to negotiate what happens after 2 years?
Well, I think we're going to go into a conversation with the mayor and possibly some city council members. We're very optimistic about that, and that should happen here within the next, I would say, the next couple of weeks. And we hope to get some conversation going so we can maybe head this off at the pass before it gets any further than that. So we're pretty optimistic about that, and then hopefully we can start those conversations soon.
How many years in business?
65.
65 years at sea at the crossing there for the Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry. Thank you, Captain. Sure appreciated it yesterday. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you soon.
All right, Michael Patrick, have a great day, and it was great to see you.
Thank you very much. That's Chris Shepler, who drives that ferry like he's driving a little Volkswagen almost. It's amazing to see the skill that goes into getting in and out of these harbors, and sometimes the waves kick up. It's great fun. We're here at Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. Back in a flash. Michigan's Morning Show. Michael Patrick Shields.
Beautiful and guaranteed.
Two simple words that say so much about